Greetings Internet and welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. In this video I'll be continuing my playthrough of SPACECORP by John Butterfield, and we are starting the last era, Starfarers. We've gone through Mariners, gone through Planeteers, so this is the last era. I'm not sure how many videos this will take to go through because this is actually probably the longest part of the game. I'd also like to dedicate this episode to a fellow YouTuber, Dad vs Son, who effectively encouraged me to continue this. I was going to continue this off camera because there wasn't many people, you guys, actually watching, liking, show me any encouragement to continue this. However, Dad vs Son did. As I say, I wanted to finish the game, but to actually spend the effort and time to shoot the videos, however, we're here. So let's go down to the map and see what's going on. The map is definitely more busy on this particular era. We're starting in Seoul with 3 of our teams rather than 2, which started in the previous one. The competition has still got is 12 that can come on as and when required. And let's go through the actual setup, what I've done, but let's go through the steps. So the first thing I had to do was shuffle these. There are different discovery tiles. You've got primary ones, secondary ones, and you've got aliens. Okay, as denoted by the primary and secondary. I think the aliens come out randomly. Okay, so those are all shuffled. It then tells me to put 3 of my teams in Seoul and the competition teams down there. And then it says if you hold the beyond marker. I can't remember if I held the, because I packed this away and I'm sure I took photographs, but I can't find who held the beyond marker. So I'm going to say no one did. If that's a mistake, if someone wants to go back on one of the previous videos and go, then fine. But it says place the first beyond, it's no longer used. Okay, if you do draw the place, the competition of the beyond, yeah. So it says if neither side holds the first beyond marker, which I said I can't remember, place 1 competition team on each of the Alpha Centauri and Lumen stars. Okay, so there's Alpha Centauri, and where's Lumen? Right, okay. Then it says remove the beyond, so it's out of the game. Put all competition bases back in the draw cup. They're all in here. There you go. Okay. Then it says your era deck and starting hand. Okay, so the era deck now is considerably bigger. Okay, there it all is, all shuffled. So you shuffle, there's a starting set of cards. There's 12 of them, you shuffle them, then you shuffle all the rest, put all the rest down, from the 12 of the ones with the starting cards, draw 2. Here's my 2, I haven't even looked at them as yet, and then place the other 10 on top. That's my deck. Remember, the game sort of ends when that gets to the end. That's the competition deck, and that's using the Mariners, plus some other cards to slot in there, and again there's 6 starting cards that are placed on top. And such. So they're all shuffled and done. It then says I need to deal 4 cards into the office section. So I take these from here and we place them. Remember, there will all be starting cards to start with, and there they all are. All done. Then progress cards. Okay, that's all these. There are some that are removed that aren't in play because it's a solo game. And I've still got my 2 from the last round, so I've still got my probe networks, which allows me to explore at ×2, and my low body mass, which gives me a basic 5 extra movement. The opposition have those two. I don't think they actually use them per se. They just stop me having them, and they get the money for them as well. The new thing, and we will have to go into a bit more detail about this, are these, the colony tiles. So it tells me to use the ones which have got the number 1 on them. There's a total of 11 of them, and the colony rules are all written here. We'll go into that in detail as and when, or before we actually start. And that's it. The game is ready to go. Now all that setup is clearly explained in here on over 2 pages. Very well laid out. So that you shouldn't have any hesitation on how to actually set up the game. Very clear, straightforward instructions. Now the additional rules for Starfarers. There's about 2 pages of them. Okay, we'll go through that as quickly as possible. Multipliers. Okay, so some of the Explorer cards, if you remember some of these ones here, they have move 3, move 2. So that's how many spaces. Well, in here, the actual distance are vast. So there are multipliers. I don't know, let's have a look at the 2 cards I've got. Yeah, there we go, move times 3. Okay, and move 5, so that's a standard one. But then my first generation antimatter drive will give me a move times 3. And what that means, move times, which multiplies the action's value rather than adding to it. Remember to add together all, so it does mathematics slightly different. So you add all together non-multiples before applying each multiplier. So it's a different, so you add everything together, then you multiply it, rather than multiply the first number. So if that makes sense. If only multipliers, you start with any one as the base number. So I've only got multipliers. I choose one as the base number, then multiply it with what other cards I've got. So let's have a closer look at interstellar movement. You see these values here. I mean, that's a 20 move, that's a 30 move, and so on. Okay. So each region on the Starfarers board contains a star system site or contains an Orion spur site, which is, I think, way over there. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Or is the Sol site, Sol being our planet, of course, and or is empty. So we have the vast distance of interstellar space is empty. We are not alone, but we are in there. The cost of a move action to any Starfarers region equals the total cost of the region borders crossed during the move. There is no cost to land or take off from the sites as in the previous era. So to go from Sol to Alpha Centauri will cost 20 movement points. So there's no takeoff cost and there's no landing cost. So to literally move from here to here would cost that 20. If I was in here and wanted to go to, let's say, Lumen, I'd go 20 plus 30, being 50. The star systems itself. So each star system is a single site containing 1, 2 or 3 exploration boxes. So look at that. There is a primary box at Alpha Centauri, whereas at Groombridge there's a primary and secondary. Plus you've got this little track on each of them. So let's go through what those little tracks are. A system depicting 2 or more stars is a multi-star system. A star system name is followed by explore cost and build cost. So Alpha Centauri's got an explore cost of 4 and a build cost of 8, as shown here. Okay, remember that we've got one of the competition there already. Okay, star track. Each star system has a star track containing 3 boxes pointed to the star. Whenever one of your teams moves to a star system, place it on the track in the box furthest from the star. So if we travel to here, we go into that box there. Okay. A team on a track can't be used to perform actions. At the start of each of your turns, advance each of your teams on a star track 1 box close to the star. It's just reflecting that when you actually arrive in Alpha Centauri, we're still a huge distance from any actual planet, and it's going to take time each turn to get closer. If already in the box close to the star, instead place the team on the star. The Orion spur, that's that little bit right at the top again. When the first team, yours or the competition's enters, what the hell is enters any Orion spur region, its owner immediately gains 5 talents. Afterwards, whenever a team enters an unoccupied Orion spur region, oh right, I see, just twig, there are a few of these Orion spur regions. There's one over there, and one over there. Okay. Right. The Orion spur is the local area of the Sagittarius arm of our Milky Way galaxy. Teams in our outer regions of the Starfarers map can move beyond Sol's interstellar enablers and out into the Orion spur. Your teams can't move to the Orion spur region unless the move departs directly from an adjacent region. So if we look at the closest Orion spur, we couldn't start a move from here and go 50 and 20. We'd have to start in an adjacent region. And look at the distances to move, 120 and so forth. And you have a colony in that region, so we can't actually move from here to here until we have a colony established in one of the adjacent zones. So as it says, the reward is 5 talents, and then every team that moves on beyond that is 2. Empty regions. Teams can never end a turn in one of the 4 empty regions. A moving team must always have sufficient move value to move through an empty region onto one containing a site. Okay, then it defines something called nearby sites and regions. Some effects will refer to something that is nearby. The secure base, for example. Nearby is defined as anything that is within 20 distance move or of whatever is being referenced. Okay. Yeah, it then gives an example which I'm just going to go and double read. Okay, so it's on about 20 move distance. So it's saying if we were in here, okay, we are nearby to Sol, and Sol is nearby to Alpha Centauri, but because there's a 30 move distance off camera, a 30 move difference from Sol to Lumen, they're not nearby. So anything that references the word nearby, they've got to be within 20 move distance of. Right. How to explore these wonderful new star systems. Whenever you perform an explore action with a team on a star, place a discovery tile in all of the region's empty exploration boxes in that single action. You draw and place a discovery tile on each of the system's empty exploration spaces, starting with the primary space followed by any secondary spaces. Place discovery tiles one at a time, resolving any immediate effects before placing the next. The exploring team claims all placed discovery tiles simultaneously. Place it on one of the tiles. Okay, so effectively, if we move into Groombridge and we get a team all the way down to the star, we can then do an explore action which will cost us 7, and we place a primary and a secondary tile in there. 2 primary discovery tiles instruct the player to instead draw an alien tile. Alien discovery tiles are normal discovery tiles in every way, with 2 exceptions. And we'll come to those exceptions if ever we find an alien. Okay, so that's how the discovery tiles work. Then you can do establishing a colony. As your action for the turn, you may choose to colonize in any one region in which all exploration boxes are occupied by your bases. The presence of a team is not required to take a colonize action. Any available colony tile, that is one still on the sideboard, may be chosen for the action. So you've got to, so if we wanted to use Groombridge as an example, we've got a primary and a secondary, and we've got a base on each one, we can then colonize that system. Each colony tile has a number of pips across the top, which represents its colony value. So let's go and look at some of these. Okay, I'm bringing the camera down. So we can see they've got a bunch of pips on the top of each tile. Let me just bring one closer. There we go. Can I focus on that? No. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Okay, so it's got a number of pips at the top, which represents its colony value. To conduct a colonization action, you must be able to accumulate colony points equal to or greater than the colony value of the colony marker you wish to place. So, we will look at why, I don't know, but Butterfield only requires 3 colony points, whereas the name of the actual colonies at the bottom, some of them have got quite high, 5, 6 colony points. You accumulate colony points in any combination as follows, with each item only allowed to be claimed once. So this is where this table comes in, how you accumulate colony points, which we'll go into detail. So you need to accumulate whatever's on the actual counter, and each of those counters has an advantage on it, as written by the text on here. So that's what will be steering a part of our claim block gameplay. So once you have that and you do a colony action, you place the colony in that region, and control is denoted by, because you've got your control on the bases there. And the colony provides the following benefits. Provides 1 colony point towards colonizing a nearby region. So that's where that nearby comes in. You are eligible to conduct a move action to the Orion Spur, and at the end of the era you're awarded profit based on the number of colonies you control. In addition, most colonies will provide a unique benefit for you as described on the sideboard, which we will go through once we actually start colonizing these systems of space. Also, building bases in star systems. We need to build bases to be able to build a colony. So whenever a team on a star performs a build action, it will build an eligible base on all of the region's discovery tiles within a single action. So again, if we're using this as an example, I have these 2 explored, which cost me 7, to build a base, which will cost me 8. We'll build a base at both. The cost of the action is the star system's base cost plus the sum total of the base modifiers listed on every discovery tile, as in the previous system. Okay, I look at my previous one, base -1. If I was building that here, which I can't obviously because this is from a previous era, but if I was building that here, that would cost me actually only 7 to build. If the competition has a claim to the discovery tiles where you build, the competition receives 2 talents compensation as normal. Total, not per tile, and vice versa if you have a claim where the competition builds. How dare they build that I want? Increased contract awards. Contract awards in Starfarers are increased if the corresponding contracts, those along the same row in earlier years, weren't fulfilled. So as a reminder, let's just zoom out a little bit. We've got this contract board here. So there's now the Starfarers contracts to be fulfilled. And if we've got one right back here, so if this contract was fulfilled, you'd get that money, which is 3 talents, plus that one, which is 4. Okay, and we will go through what these are once we finish the little bit of a rules dive. The reason I'm doing a rules dive, I'm doing it on camera, is because I say these are probably the most complex rules, and I'm just going through them again for myself. Competition site action. In Starfarers, the competition site actions perform differently. When a competition card lists a star system, conduct one of the following activities based on the situation there. Assess in the following order and stop assessing once an activity is performed. So there's a list of 8 actions which are in the rules. I'm not sure if there's a that's on the cheat sheet. So it is. It's a battlefield. We're trying again. So there's a set procedure they go through, which I'll come through when we're doing the aliens. There are things like the special rules for how they place bases and such forth. And then when the Starfarers era ends, you, never the competition, gain the additional profit for colonies you control as follows. So the more colonies, the more. If I get 4 or more colonies, I'll gain 13 talents. And if I get no colonies, I lose 1 talent. After for profit for colonies, if your total exceeds the competition by 11T or more, you win and dominate explored space. And then there's various shuffles in between there. And that is effectively the rules dive. So the rules add to the previous one. So the rules for Mariners, Planeteers add to Starfarers. So you can see it's a little bit more involved. I'm not going to profess being a grand strategist of this game, because I'm not. I've got very little experience going on to the Starfarers. I think this is about maybe the 3rd time I've done it, and the previous 2 times it didn't go too well. It's completely, or feels completely different, especially with the vast distances involved, to the previous 2 eras. But hey ho, we're here to learn and play together. So any of you out there who are watching and I make an absolute, complete and utter gaffe, just put it in the comments. And at that point, I'd like to mention about likes and comments and such forth. I know they say this series is not getting many views from you guys. I don't know why. John Butterfield has made many, obviously, war games, and this isn't a war game. It's more of a race, space race. But it's very elegant in its design. It's thought-provoking. So I just hope that more of you will actually get this to the table, because I think it's definitely worth the time and effort. But if you could make any likes in the comments and comments below, that'd be much appreciated, because it always helps the channel. So with that, is it begging? I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't understand how any of you can watch a video, watch it for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and you've obviously got something from it, don't hit the like button. I don't quite understand that. I watch quite a lot of YouTube, and for the effort that a lot of people make, even if they make mistakes, they'll get a like from me because they've made the effort. If it's something completely rambunctious and awful, then yeah, then I won't bother. But so the time and effort that we put into this doesn't replicate when you actually just got to press a little button. Rant over. Let's get back to the game. And the competition begins. So I draw a card from the competition, and it gives me a name there, Wolf 1061. So what do they do there? Remember, I did say there was like a list of things and options that they can go through. Got to find the right. So conduct one of the following activities based on the situation at the listed site. Assess in the following order and stop assessing once an activity is performed. So we're looking at Wolf 1061 here. Okay. If you have a base there, discard the card and end the turn. Well, I don't have a base there. So that's the first step. If the competition has a colony there, discard the card and end the turn. They don't. If no competition team is present, place one there. They're telling me to place a competition team there. And that's the last one, or the first one in the row. So that's where we stop on that. Now, it says placing bases. It doesn't say, so placing discovery tiles. If no competition present, place one there. Now, it doesn't tell me if it's starting here, so I'm assuming they're actually on planet. Yeah, it doesn't say. So they've gone there, and that's that card done. And then it's over to me. Now, I've got various things I can do on my turn, and the first one is I advance to star, which is only on this board. I've got nothing to advance to at the present moment. I can then conduct an action, which is these two cards. I can do research, and it's the same actions that I've done on previous turns. So we want to get out here, because obviously the competition has got they're still ahead on money as well, on profit. So I need to get out here, but I haven't got enough movement. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 movement on my board, my infrastructure, and I could play 12 times 3, which would be basic maths Sibley 36, which would allow me to go to either Alpha Centauri or Lumen, because I can't go through these spaces here. I have to be able to end. So the move I've got, or if I play both my move cards, because 12 plus 5 is 17, then I've got 17 times 3 if I play both of them. Yeah, 17, so well, no, it's got to be shielded. I'm coming from solids, that's automatically shielded. So that'll get me a bit farther. So the question is, do I really want to compete with these guys in these areas? Because they're already there. So if they get these names, they'll probably build a base. But I don't want to be too far behind, because with the 2 cards I have, and it's a shielded move, I can go 30 and 20 and go get to Epsilon at the top there. So I've got 54 movement. But then again, that'll leave me no cards. But let's do that. Yeah, let's not directly compete. So I will do a move action. So that's 30 plus 20, which gets me into the first box over at Epsilon Eridini, over there. So my move on my infra, so let's just show you how I'm working all this out. All right, so here's my infrastructure. So I'm using the 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 5 is 12, and then adding that card to it, which is 17. I'm not doing the shielded side because moving from Earth is shielded. So that's 17, and then I'm multiplying that by 3 using that card is 54, which allows me, as I just shown, to move through here, which is 30 plus 20. There's no additional cost for landing, and that gets me into that end box there, and those 2 cards are gone. Okay, so that is, I've conducted an action. I've got no contracts to claim, nothing else there. Perform a free team transport, no. Discard and replenish offers. Didn't use any of these, so we're okay. And I draw a card if 4 or less in the hand, which I have. I've got 0 in my hand. And I picked up an explore or build 3. Okay, so that's the first of my actions. I've now arrived at Epsilon Eridini, and each turn that will actually move down. Drawn a card, so we're over to the competition. And their card draw is Tau Ceti. Where the hell's Tau Ceti? Okay, we'll have to get used to the map. Tau Ceti's up here. Okay, so go again through their little list there. If they have a base there, they don't. If the competition is a colony, they don't. If no competition team is present, place one there. So they're getting their little pinkies in all the pies, aren't they? Okay. And that's them done. Yeah. Actually, it's got a little number 1 there on the card. I wonder what that means. There's Tau Ceti, and it's got a 1 there. Let me just look that up. Okay, after a bit of rules reading, this number here refers to if they're building a colony there. They would tell me that they would build the first colony. But they're not building a colony, they just established a team to Tau Ceti. Okay, back to me. What to do now? Well, first thing is that moves 1 step closer. Okay, they'll conduct an action. So what do we need? Do we need anything from the cards over there? No, we can't explore because we're not at that. So we get another team out, but we don't have any multipliers as such. So we can't move that far. Research gets me 2 cards. So let's take 2 cards. Let's do a research action. So we'll take a move and another move. Fusion booster and a fusion lister. Okay, so it's conducted. Claim contracts as none. Opponent for a free team transport. Need a space base and such forth to do that. Discard and replenish offers. So let's replenish. Still haven't found any multipliers as such. Okay. Oh, here we have. There we are. So that one we can probably draw next time. I've got 3 cards, so I've got less than 4, so I draw the next top one. So my hand currently is a move 5, move 5, move 5, and an explore 3. Okay, so we're looking. That's me done. I've got 4 cards now. Right. So next up is the opposition. What are they doing? So again, we look here. La Sala 9352. La Sala 93. That's La Sala 8760. 9352 is here. So we place a competition. Okay. I'm not sure if this is where I'm going to place them because there's no steps for them to be moved. But yeah, that's where they go. All right. Simple as. Back to me. Okay, so the first thing is that now moves to there. So next turn we will be at the planet. So we've got to prepare for that, and we need to send out another one of my teams. So I'm going to do another research action. I can do that as long as I've got less than 7 cards. So I'm going to take that because I want that times 3. And movement seems good at the moment, so I'm going to take that as well. Okay, so I've got a lot of move. So we need to get out there. Space is big. Okay, so that is my research action done. Got nothing else to claim, and I've got, it says draw a card of 4 or less. I've now got 6 in my hand, so I can't even draw another card. So that's my turn done. As you can see, the turns are quite rapid. Right, what's the opposition doing? Oh, it says contract 6. That means we look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It places a marker on there. If that comes out again, they will have completed that contract. So non-start Starfarer cards in 3 infra slots. Non-start Starfarer cards. Well, I haven't put anything in my infra slots so far, so it's ahead of me on that one. Okay, back to me. This now arrives at the planet. That means I can start doing actions there. So I need to, let's explore it, shall we? Explore is 10. Do I have any explore? I do. So I've got an explore 3 here. And on my infrastructure, I've got to explore 2 there. So that's 3 plus 2 is 5. And then we have my probe networks, which is explore times 2. So that will equal the 10. So using the infrastructure 2 plus the 3 from that card is 5 times 2 is 10. I can now explore Epsilon Eridani. So that means I place a primary discovery tile. So that's from these piles here. I'll take, let's just cut that, shall we? And we find planetary system exotic life. There's a lot going on that tile, isn't there? Okay, it costs extra 4 to build a base, so we've got to be careful, we don't want to disturb exotic life. I instantly gain 1 talent, means I'm catching them up, and 1 genetics. that goes on the my little progress wheel. And colony and production. So that goes there. Then that goes up there. I'm going to place my team show I have made the exploration, and I do two secondary. So the first secondary, it emphasizes the exotic life and gives me another 2 talents, taking me to 40, and I get another genetics of blimey, life is bubbling on Epsilon Eridani, and the other one is it's got rings. All right. Higher production. So if I place a production, yeah, okay. There's a ringed planet. That's my turn done. Is it? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. 4. No, I've got nothing else I can need to do. So over to the opposition. Epsilon Eridani. Haha. They've decided to place a team there. They say, oh, look at all this exotic life. Oh, I better get a move on over there. So they place a team. That's correct. There's nothing else there, is there? If you have a base there, which I don't, discard the card. If the competition has a colony there, they don't. If no competition team is present, place one there. So that's the first thing. So they've now arrived, sniffing around. Oh, this looks like it could be interesting. Okay, and that ends their turn. Better get a move on. But what's the build value of that area? It's build 8. Right, let me move this up a little bit here and zoom in. Okay, so it's build 8, but we've got an additional 4 there, so it's actually a build 12. And build must be shielded. Now I definitely don't have, oh blimey, I should have filled those 2 slots. My bad. Another build 3. Yeah, there's no build multiplier so far. Okay, so I need build 12 and I haven't got build 12. I've got 3, 6, 6. I haven't got a multiplier. So we've got nothing that can allow us to build, because we want to build there quickly. Because as I say, they're sniffing around. Because if it comes up, but we've got nothing that allows us to do that. Okay. So it looks like it's going to have to be another research action. And pick up 2. Yeah. So we'll pick up those 2 cards there. Pick up these 2, which is another build 3 and build 3. So that's build 6. So for what I've got, none of these are infrastructured either. It's interesting. Because I want to put something into my infrastructure, so I don't have to keep spending cards. So that was a research. Well, I've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. And 2 more now come out here. Got a, now that's a good card. May upgrade as infra. Yes, I think I definitely want that one. Hopefully the opposition don't get rid of it. Ooh, 2 very sexy cards. Very, very good. Okay. I don't gain any team transport or anything like that, so no. Over to the opposition. All right, Sydney 61. Or 61 Sydney. Where the hell is that? Boom, boom, boom. It's the first time I've heard. Ah, right, okay. So moving the camera, that's down here. So again, they place blimey. Competition teams everywhere. But that's them done. Back to me. Okay, we do have the ability to build there now, but what 7 cards? I really would like those 2 there for the enemy. Enemy competition, get rid of them. What to do? Do we build? There'll be 3, 6, 9. No, we're going to do a research action and take those 2 cards. I really want those. So I'm praying that they don't get an Epsilon Eridani beforehand. That ends my turn. I can't do any more research actions because I've got more than 7 cards. Okay. Let's see. Boom, enemy action. And we get Ross 780. So they're exploring around. They're plonking teams bloody all over the map. Okay. My action is I'm going to put... Now, I think I can only change 1 in form. Right, let me just check my actions. I think I can only do 1. Competition actions, my actions. One go, place the card on your HQ in the infra slot. If there is already a card there from the current era, return it to your hand. If it's a card from the previous era, remove it from the game. I can only change 1 at a time. Well, I think the big one we want to put in is removing that build and putting that build in there. Okay, so it's a build 4. There isn't a multiple build, but that's a good one, and it's shielded to start with. Is it? No, it's not. My bad. It's not shielded. Okay, so that's my action. Not much happened there, did it? Okay, competition. All right, Groombridge 1618. They're running out of teams. They're everywhere, like locusts. Oh, I put that in the wrong slot. Okay, back to me. Okay, so we've now got a build 4. Remember we needed 12 here. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can get 13 using 3 cards. So let's do that. So using the build 4 from my infrastructure, that one there, that's 4, plus this one, 5, 6, 7, and that's shielded. It's got the word shielded there. So we need to be shielded so we don't suffer radiation detriment. So that's 4 plus 3 is 7. Eight, 9, 10 from that one, and they're exactly the same. 10, 13. So that gets us our build using those 3 cards. So that allows us to build there. Okay, so we're doing a build action. We paid the cost. So let's zoom in and decide what we're actually going to build. Because we get to build 3 bases. There. Okay, now with that exotic life, let's place we've got exotic life here. Let's build a biolab on that one. So a biolab, must the discovery tile has life on it, which it does. When built, advance your genetics marker 1 space. Okay, so my genetics marker now has gone completely round. So we'll deal with that in a moment. Now we've got those rings, which are production. It's got a P2. Can we increase that? Discovery has water or a P number. Make it industrial. The active player may double their, or it's worth a colony point. Refinery. Yeah, we built a refinery on the rings, because that will then make it P3. Okay, so on that last one, it's got a colony point. I'm trying to build on a track. A shield factory. Has it got water? It's got life, but it hasn't got actually abundance of water there. I think we'll build a research station there. Because with that, when built, take one card from the offers or advance your revelation marker one space. We haven't had anything moving my revelation. So let's build a research station there. My revelation goes around one space. What do I mean by that? Well, bring that over here. Lost it completely. And then zoom out. There we go. So this is my genetics cube. So that's gone round completely. So that allows me to get one of those genetic cards up there. We'll have a look, see which is probably the best. And my revelation cube's moved around one space. So once it goes completely round, I'll get a revelations card. So we've now got, oops, one of these. That's a wall. So we've got, now we've already got low body mass. Energy efficiency could be good. Sensory focus, whenever you would draw a E3 or primary discovery tile, draw 2 instead, so that could be useful. Radiation resistance, any other adaptation. Your move and build actions are shielded from radiation. That could be useful as well. But we've now got these other ones up here. Adaptation. Enviro tolerance, worth 1 colony point. Remember, colony points, we need to accumulate enough to be able to build a colony. And that'll be the next thing we need to build over there. Okay. Star Children, any 2 breakthroughs. We've only got 1 breakthrough. But immediately gain a new team. Oh, that'll give me a new team. That could be useful. Though I'm only using 1 team at the moment. Hybrids. Whenever you build a base on a primary tile, you may choose to place a second different base there. 2 bases effects are cumulative. Oh, that's good too. They're all good. They're all good. They always are, aren't they? You know what? I think I'm going to go from probably the easiest one, which is this one here, adaptation. So I've made an adaptation to my colonists, the bodies of my people, in that they are now low body mass, they can move fast, and now I made them energy efficient. Okay, your build actions gain 3. We've seen that building actions do cost quite a bit, so and there doesn't seem to be a multiplier for them. So with that, I have now got additional 3 for my build actions, and that's got a reward on it of 1T. So I gain another talent. And does that put me anywhere on the first? Right, so what are my contracts? First colony. We haven't got a colony. Colonies with at least 16 value. I haven't got that. Bases in 4 non-adjacent regions. I haven't got that. Bases in 3. 7 progress cards. We've only got 3. And bases in 6 regions. So none of the contracts are anywhere near being done. Or by me anyway. So that concludes that. I've got 3 bases. And I think I'm going to call that the end of this video. So let's go back up to the top. Well, if any of you have made it this far after my mid-video whinge about likes and such forth, thank you for staying. Much appreciated. So this is the start of the game. I've now effectively got discovered. The next step for me in Epsilon will be to place a colony, so I'll go through the colony rules in the next video. Not much more to say other than that. Please hit the likes. As I've said earlier, it's the most important thing you can do to help low subscriber channels like myself. You know, I know there's people out there with 15, 20, 30,000 subscribers, etc. Maybe not many gaming channels, but they are out there, and they're getting like 700, 800 likes. I'm not expecting that, but I would expect that majority of you who do watch and get to this point, just to click the like button, because it helps the channel. It then does YouTube stuff and their algorithms. It lets other people like me and you watch and find out about these things. And if you've got this far, you must be interested in the game. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Again, that's not as important as the likes for some reason, I don't know. But yeah, if you could subscribe to the channel, it will help. But most importantly, and I've said this on every video, your comments. I do appreciate them. It helps me learn, if it picks out anything I've made up, mistakes or gaffes or anything like that, it all helps. So until next time, remember, play games, have fun, and sorry about the whinging, but maybe it's just one of those days. Sorry. But until next time, bye. internet.